Hello, my name is Tijani Ahmed, and this is my oral presentation assignment titled Ethical Decision Making in Organizations. This is an assignment in LEA 803, Leadership, Values, and Ethics, and the name of the professor in charge is Dr. Sherry Johnson. To begin with, at the outline, uh, the first thing I'll be talking about is introduction to ethical decision making, followed by ethical leadership and theories, followed by elements of ethical questioning. Next will be ethical dilemmas in leadership, followed by assessing organizational culture and strategies for creating an ethical culture. I will be concluding, and then the reference list will be the last on the presentation slides. First, introduction to ethical decision making. Here we want to understand what is ethical decision making. When you talk about ethical decision making, it is the process of evaluating and choosing among alternatives in a manner consistent with ethical principles. Ethical decision making involves choosing actions, deciding which actions that align with moral principles and prioritizing fairness and minimizing harm. So when we are to make decisions, we are to choose between two or more options. And when those decisions are being ethical, when they become ethical decisions is when they follow certain laid down principles that the organization have set down or the profession have set down. In this presentation, I'll be referring to education, early childhood education, because I have a background in early childhood education and I've worked in schools as well as in universities, education settings. So I'll be referring to early childhood education settings as well as schools and education settings in this presentation. So why is it important to make ethical decisions? It is important to make ethical decisions because it is going to help the organization to maintain the trust in the organization. It is also going to uphold the organizational integrity and the long-term success. It is going to help the organization to achieve the long-term success. For example, when you are to decide between cost savings and environmental impact in a production company, for example, when you are thinking about saving costs, either to save cost or to consider the hazard the production you want to make is going to constitute to the society where the manufacturing company belongs to. In education setting, for example, when you are thinking of the equitable access to resources for the kids in the school, or you think about not giving everybody equitable access of just purchasing minimal materials for some people to just have access to it, just for you to fulfill all righteousness. These are decisions, daily decisions that leaders and people working in the organization will have to decide. They have to decide on a daily basis. And it is important that their decisions are ethical so that the long-term success of the organization will be upheld. Ethical leadership and theories. When we talk about ethical leadership and theories, I'll be focusing on two theories, the transformational leadership theory and the servant leadership theories. I have chosen these two theories because I have seen that they are the ones that upheld the principles of ethical decision making. The first one is transformational leadership. A transformational leader inspires and motivates teams towards ethical goals. Transformational leader is going to help the followers. It will motivate followers to make ethical decisions when they are striving to achieve their goals. A transformational leadership is essential for modeling and upholding the values of ethical decision making, because a transformational leader is going to focus on the ideal influences, and it is going to inspire the followers to do the good things, to take ethical decisions other than making decisions that are selfish, or sometimes they see it as pro-organizational behavior, but they are unethical. Transformational leaders will not motivate followers to take unethical decisions. They will inspire them and motivate them to take intellectual decisions that are ethical on a daily basis. The second one is servant leadership. Servant leadership prioritizes the needs of others even before the needs of himself or herself, and is going to foster ethical culture. This is why I've chosen this second leadership model. Transformational leaders in an organization is going to prioritize the need of others. When you prioritize the need of others, you are going to make decisions that are not going to harm others. And I've mentioned in my definition of ethical decision that in making ethical decisions, you have to minimize the harm that is going to cause to others, not just what you are going to achieve as a leader in the organization or what your organization is set to achieve, but what the larger success the organization is going to make, what large impact, what is the end goal, what is the end result of the consequences of the decision you are making. So, for example, leaders in technology company promoting diversity and innovation, these are transformational leaders. They are promoting diversity and innovation in their workplace. And when we relate this to education, leaders that are advocating for inclusive curriculum design so that everybody, regardless of their culture, regardless of their background, will be carried along. Element of ethical questioning, the key steps. Number one, evaluate the morality of our actions. When we do this, we consider how our decision is going to impact the stakeholders. When we talk about the stakeholders, we talk about the consumers, we talk about the people in the society, we talk about the community where the organization is located, and every member of the community. So how do we make decisions that are going to, how is our decision going to affect these people, these stakeholders? So we have to evaluate that before we consider making any decision at all. Because if we are going to make ethical decision, then our decision must take in consideration all the impact the decision is going to have on all these stakeholders. Then we have to use creativity to foresee ethical challenges and outcomes. Then in doing this, the leadership role will be to encourage open dialogue about ethical concern, not just making decisions without consulting, without doing proper consultation, without considering everything that has to do with the decision you are about to make. Well, what is this going to benefit us? Asking this short question, what is it going to benefit the organization? What is it going to benefit the society at large? It is going to promote sound decision making in an organization, because when you ask ethical questions like this, for example, what is the impact of my decision going to be on all the stakeholders? It promotes sound decision making, and it also ensures the alignment with the organizational values. What will the organization be known for? Are you going to be known for ethical things or unethical things? For example, when you brainstorm about ethical implication of introducing AI in the healthcare sector, AI is a common thing that everybody, innovative thing that everybody is talking about. But before you introduce it in the healthcare sector, what are the impacts of introducing that AI to the healthcare sector? What are the positive impact it's going to have and the negative impact? Does the negative impact outweigh the positive impact, or the positive impact outweighs the negative impact? When you ask these questions, then you know that you're about to make ethical decisions. For example, in early childhood education, when you ask about ensuring disciplinary practices align with fairness, you want to take a disciplinary measures in schools, for example, and you are considering being fair. Even when you want to take a disciplinary action, when you consider being fairness in your judgment, then you are about to take an ethical decision. Next is ethical dilemmas in leadership. Definition. Ethical dilemmas occurs when values or principles conflict, thereby making decision-making challenging. When you talk about dilemma, you talk about problem. And this occurs when the value, what you value, and the principles of the organization, they are not in sync, they are not together. They conflict with each other, then it's going to make decision-making challenging. And for example, balancing profit with employee well-being. You are thinking about how you are going to make more profit in an organization and how your employees are faring, the well-being of your employee. When they conflict, then there is a problem with decision making. And then managing conflict of interest. Different people working in the organization have different interests in a particular situation. This is going to make it challenging. Which theory are we going to highlight in this? Is authentic leadership. Authentic leadership remains true to their values and principles while navigating dilemmas. When you have dilemmas, ethical dilemmas in an organization, an authentic leader is going to consider the true value and principles of the organization before making decisions. And this is going to be ethical decision in the long run. Next, assessing organizational culture. Why does it matter? Why do we have to assess organizational culture? We have to assess organizational culture because culture influences ethical behavior and decision making. The background of people working in the organization is going to influence their act, their decision, their day-to-day activities. Their culture is going to affect it. Then ethical leaders can assess and reshape culture. If you see that the culture in the organization is not too good or is unethical, then an ethical leader is going to reshape it and reform the culture of the organization so that the face of the organization can be uplifted, and then the overall success of the organization or the overall goal will be achieved. The theory to highlight here is ethical stewardship. Leaders in ethical stewardship, leaders act as stewards of the organization, prioritizing the long-term sustainability and ethical change, not just the immediate effect of their decision, but the long-term goal of the organization, ensuring that it is being achieved. Then strategies for creating an ethical culture. You have to promote authenticity and transparency. When you promote authenticity and transparency, this is going to promote ethical culture in the organization. You reward ethical behavior. When somebody takes an ethical decision, instead of lying to a customer, they say the truth and still allow the customer to make a decision whether they want to patronize the organization or not. And you reward good habits, good and ethical behavior in the organization, and then incorporate ethics into performance management. And then the theory to highlight this is authentic leadership. Authentic leaders influence moral behavior through their integrity and transparency. Authentic leadership is a form of leadership that they see that they are strict and they stand on principle. This is what this organization is known for, and the leader is going to see every possible means to see that the organizational culture and principles are being upheld at all times. Then conclusion. The key takeaways. Ethical decision-making and leadership are essential for organizational success. In every organization, we must ensure that we are making ethical decisions. In schools, for example, teachers must ensure that in their day-to-day activities, as they are dealing with kids and children, their students, they are making ethical decisions. Not the decision that will make their job easier, but the decision that is going to help the children to learn and will not dent the image of the organization, which is the school. Leaders play a crucial role in shaping ethical culture. The leader in an organization has the responsibility to shape the culture of the organization and uphold the ethical principles of the organization and ensure that all the followers and all the workers in the organization are working towards the achievement of the organizational goal. Call to action. All organizations are encouraged to prioritize ethics in their leadership development program. So it is important for organizations to prioritize ethical leadership, to prioritize ethical culture, to prioritize ethical decision-making in their day-to-day activities to ensure the long-term success of the organization. The list of the references are as follows for further reading. Thank you for listening. Once again, my name is Tijani Ahmed as I wait for your contribution and comments. Thank you.